the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals, they take us higher. The night's young, and it's just begun as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be two hearts running wild. So loud as the hours pass, we're gonna do it all again. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, as we shout from the top. We're gonna be, we're gonna be two hearts running wild.
Good morning, everyone. It's been a while since I was here. Let me just post that on my Facebook. I'm running, well, a couple of minutes late, actually. I had I don't want to say a rough day yesterday because it was a pleasant day, but it was just like one of those days where you spend a lot of energy. I was organizing a tournament for the kids. And if you've ever organized anything like that, you know that there's always, people asking questions, kids running around. There's just always stuff to do, stuff to take care of, last minute things you forget. You have to run for this, you have to run for that. It's just nonstop. Let me put the banner here. I am forgetting one name in there. Let me just put this one instead, and I will do my little editing. Give me a sec. Boom. Oh, that was not where I was supposed to put it. There it is. And but all things considered, the tournament went well. Obviously, the team from Dieppe that has a school of over 1,000 kids, only grade 6, 7, and 8. Let's just say that you have 300 kids to choose from. Chances are you're going to have a good team. We have 200 kids at our school, and that includes kindergarten to grade 8. So we have about 30 kids to choose from, and they have 300. That being said, though, we finished the round robin with a perfect record. A few games were a little bit tighter than we were hoping, but it happens. Let me just turn that so I don't get copyrights or anything from the TV. There you go. Um, yeah, so we beat the 4 teams we played against, the first 4 teams, and then we were playing the semifinals against our arch nemesis. um, we have a very good rivalry against Camelton, which is once again a bigger school than us, but we had 1 win and 1 loss against them prior to that game, and it finished 11-10. We lost in semifinals, but it was a pretty close game. They scored a few points ahead of us, and then we tied the game. We even had the advantage for a while, and then they came back. We got a few goals disallowed by technical reasons, which it's fair. It's just when you think about it, it was just like an inch that was separating us from the win. So kids played well. We lost for the bronze medal game after against a team that we beat in the round robin. So we know we could have done better. But for our first tournament with most of these kids, I think they learned, they had fun. A few minor injuries, but nothing major. Nothing that stopped the kids from finishing the tournament. So it's all good. There was it wasn't like what you see in the hockey games. I don't think there was any abuse towards the officials, even though there were a few calls that we wish would have gone our way instead. There's a few things that we'll need to ask the referee in my area just to understand the rule better, because it seems that when we attack and we jump through the wall, we get called for attacking too much, and then when the other team does it, we're getting called for being in their way. So it's just a matter of understanding the differences. I'm not blaming anything on the referees, far from it. I mean, we play well, we lost, that's it. It's just a matter of being able to teach the kids precisely how to do it properly, how to attack properly, because I mean, it's not a sport that I've played before. So everyone can learn from that. So I will say hi to everyone in the chat. Tiffany is here. Canadian Family Life. Tina Harper, good morning. Thomas, hey everyone. Hope all is well. Can't stay too long loading the truck. That's fair enough. Can't stay either. Hubby's still in bed. Don't want to wake him up. Tiny cabin. All right, fair enough. Dan Gridden, good morning. Good morning. How's it going? So I purchased a new computer from Staples. It came in. It took a week to arrive. Well, I placed the order 2 weeks ago from today, which is we're the 26th. So that was on the 12th. I placed my order on the 12th. The computer arrived on the 17th, which is it's okay. Hello, Jake. How's it going? Thank you so much for stopping by. 5 days for your order to come in. Fair enough. Unfortunately, the computer got here, and the monitors ports were all display ports. And display ports, I don't know if you can see, but it's those ones right here. Can't see properly on camera. For some reason, the light is right in my face. So now you can see it properly. So this is display port. I have 3-4 monitors here. None of them has display port, which is basically 4K. None of those 4 monitors have that connection. So the computer had to stay in the box on Friday. Now, Sunday, well, I placed an order on Amazon and it was coming in Sunday. But if you know me, you know that most of the time I can't wait for that stuff. See, they're here. This is what I got from Amazon. So basically, it's an adapter that you can put your HDMI cable in, and the output is DisplayPort. So, and I tried, that works. Do I have? Okay, well, I used the HDMI from the other computer behind me. Since I couldn't wait, I spent the whole day Saturday driving around town trying to find one of those adapters. Those sell for $3 on Amazon, by the way. So I bought two. Got two of those because I need to have two, well, actually three monitors on that computer. But I also have a docking station, which is also HDMI, but for some reason it wasn't working with the computer. Good morning, Kevin. How's it going? So you guys have snow in Florida now. That's pretty insane. We had to get the same adapter when we got our desktop a couple of years ago. Yeah, well, the computer I have behind me is more than 10 years old. It's the hard drive is about to die. I just use it as a little tiny server for my own stuff here. Play some YouTube videos on there for some people that need watch hours and stuff. And this one is a computer. Okay, I don't want to go down that path, but when everything happened in 2020, me working in a hospital, as soon as we had one tiny symptom, we had to go home. So the first day that everything was decided, we were, one of the pharmacists and I, we were working on some protocols for COVID. And obviously, I needed a computer. And I was sent home because I had a little cough, which is something I have 365 days a year. You know, you'll always hear me just like little tiny cough, but it was enough for them to send me home. Came home, plugged another computer I had, only to be disconnected. Received a phone call from the IT department telling me that I had a virus on my computer and they needed to format the computer I had at work also. So that being said, since I didn't have anything better at home, I didn't have the proper Windows version on hand, I had to call my cousin, get him to deliver me a build-up computer like on the spot, and all he could do was $100 for that computer I have right here, which was okay. I mean, I've been using the computer for the last 4 years, and I have 3 monitors. I mean, I have StreamYard there, I have a YouTube open there, and right there I have the news playing right now, the sports news. But that computer cannot hold Windows 11. And if you have a computer, you know that Windows 10 will become obsolete very soon. They won't provide any more updates. I needed something a little bit more stronger. I purchased a laptop 2 summers ago. It keeps crashing for some reason. I don't know if it's the RAM cards that I put in there because it started happening around the same time, or maybe when we did the change of the RAM cards, maybe we screwed up something else in there. Every hour or so it crashes. So try to do some video editing on there. I just have to click save like every time I do one change, which gonna suck. So the computer I got was a refurbished one from Staples. It was about $400. It was coming with 32 gigs of RAM, a 1 terabyte hard drive, an i9 processor, which was pretty much the best thing I could get for $400. It was even on sale. It was like $700 on sale for $400. But once again, it was a refurbished. But being refurbished, from what they told me, was they were computers that were purchased and then returned for X amount of reasons. Sometimes there's something broken. They just change the piece and then they make sure everything works and they send them back. The computer I got was a computer that was purchased and delivered with a little mark on it, like it was shaken in the box, and it was just a little mark. But hey, if you saw my computers here, I mean, that one doesn't even have a case anymore. So it doesn't really matter to me that has a little scratch. I mean, it's hidden behind my screen anyway. I don't see it as long as it's working fine. So I ended up finding this adapter for about $14 in town here. Came back home, plugged everything, only to see my computer with a black screen. I'm like, okay, like, is everything connected properly? And then I saw something appear on the screen saying, something is wrong with your computer. Press F5 to investigate or whatever. It was something like that. And when I clicked F5, it started beeping. Beep, 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 beep. If you've ever had a computer with a problem, you know what that sound means. It means that there's an issue with something connected to the motherboard. And when I pressed the F5, it told me that the hard drive was the problem, which is why my docking station was not working, because the hard drive could not connect. Obviously, I know computers enough. Open the box, check the hard drive. Unfortunately, everything was connected. When I started checking the error code that I was getting, the hard drive was dead. So all that trouble to get a computer that was not working. Staples were very nice about it. Like, no problem. We'll send you one of those QR code that you put on your package, prepaid shipping thing there from UPS. Unfortunately, UPS doesn't have any place near me. Like, the closest place is about an hour away. At first, the conversations we had were, well, since it's an error with your hard drive, we'll just send you a replacement hard drive. And since I know computers enough, I was going to be able to just plug in the new computer and, reinstall Windows, and that would have been fine. But that's not what happened. After 3 or 4 days of back and forth in the emails, they told me that since it was still under warranty, that I needed to send everything back. So they sent me this UPS tracking code. Lucky enough, the fact that I work at the hospital, I went to the hospital store, asked them if UPS would deliver there on a regular basis, to which they said yes. I closed the box, put everything back in, and they picked it up, and it's on its way. Although that means that for another probably week and a half to 2 weeks, I still have to deal with this old computer. So hopefully that gets settled soon. People having to drive to Miami to see the snow. We see snow every day of the winter here, and once you're used to it, you just want it to go. The official Anlin Show, thank you so much for stopping by, and good morning to you too. Boma Teremi, hope you and everyone are doing amazing. Yes, I am a little bit tired. I was up at 5:30 yesterday morning, and dealing with the tournament with the kids, I remember my kids telling me, well, Dad, you can't be tired. You didn't play. The adrenaline is still going up and down all day. You still have a lot of things to think about. You still have a lot of people that want to talk to you, get to know you because you're a coach and they're going to coach against you. You just don't stop. Your brain doesn't stop. So around 11 o'clock last night when I hit the bed, I was burnt out. Yeah, I have a lot of gear. And that's something interesting too that um, I was talking about lately in a few of my live streams about how I've been watching those Quebecers videos where they go out in nature and they go camping in the winter and kayak and catch and cook, fishing and all that kind of stuff, camping in the wild. And my channel is mostly homesteading stuff, but I also want to show um, other techniques related to survival. Maybe I should put it this way. Um, by going hiking, by going on walks in the woods, identifying plants, um, identifying edible mushrooms, finding ways to build shelters, little cabins, little, how to sleep in the woods if something happens. Um, so that being said, one of the things I wanted to do was to buy an ice fishing tent, which I did. I posted a video last Friday about it. And that little tent at a place where you can put a chimney, which means you can put a stove in those tent, which means that it is considered a hot tent where I could sleep in the winter. And I have the little tiny wood stove right here. It's not even open yet, but I will build it later and film it. And that's probably what I'm going to post next Friday, the little stove I bought. It's a portable wood stove, which is pretty awesome. Something else I ended up getting is one of those backpacks. Now, this backpack, the space in there, I don't know exactly how that works, but it was 80 liters, so I suppose it's supposed to be the size. I have a pocket on this side here. I have a pocket on this side here. I have one tiny pocket in front here, which I don't even know how big it is, what that would be used for. This is water resistant, although obviously with the bunch of zippers that there is, water could still get in there. I mean, if you drop that in the water and this part here doesn't really close, so if it's raining and you have clothes in there, it should stay dry, but don't drop that in the lake because obviously you will lose your stuff. I have a huge place up front and another huge pocket up here in front over here. So what I do is put everything that I need to make a fire in the pocket up here. So I will put matches, I will put flints in here. And I also have that bracelet because once I leave, if I leave on a hike, I will have that bracelet on my arm. There's a little tiny compass on it. Good morning, CB. Huga Homestead. Thank you so much for stopping by. So this little bracelet, just something you can put on your arm, and I guess it's a little bit hard to put on your own arm for some reason, but there has to be a way to do it. Almost. Let's see if I can do it properly. There you go. So you put that around your arm, so it's not really like you have something um, to carry. It's there. This one is a little bit big for me, but I have a very small arm. If I had a jacket, I could put it under my sleeve and it wouldn't even bother me. So not only is there a compass, but there's a little whistle. My girlfriend's gonna be mad. um, there's a little bottle opener here, can opener on the side. Um, I don't know. I think this might be a little tiny flint. Not sure. We need to read. But the thing about this is all this, the threads, if you ever needed a rope for any reason, if you got lost in the woods, you could use that as a rope. So this is in front here. This is one of the purchases I made because if I go camping, if I go kayaking, I want to be able to put my stuff in there. So I have my water filtration straw. I have this little camping toaster. This year is actually like a little survival kit. Yeah, you got that right, Darren. Like, I mean, if it's treated, the rain will get through pretty quick. But there's like a plastic in between. I can feel it when I touch it, like a thick plastic between the two materials, like the inside and the outside. So I have like this is like an emergency blanket, a little rope that I can cut branches or whatever. This is another thing to start a fire quickly. Tiny blade here. Like, I guess this thing has like multiple purposes, like a few kind of wrench and blades and knife and all kind of things like that. It's just, it's not something that you would use every day, but it's something that if something happens to you, it might be a good thing to use. You might need it. There's also a little knife, a little spoon, a little fishing hook with a little fishing line. So if you got lost, you would have at least a little way of fishing. I have another, this is something I purchased separately, a little tiny spoon with a fork and a tiny knife. Just a little bottle holder, I suppose. This here is pretty cool, I find. It doesn't take any space. So it's a little shovel, and this ties up. And you have the shovel, you have this and this. I was even thinking about maybe getting like the little tiny shovel that you can, okay, this is how that works here. So you can make it tight here by screwing this. Something I didn't even know, but I was thinking about getting the little tiny shovel that has one edge used as an axe. But I don't know if it's really worth it or not. Darren will probably know more than I do if it's worth it. So this is in my emergency backpack here. First aid kit, always good to have on hand, especially if you go on a hike. It's always good to have protection. This is a little present from my buddy Patrick, Patrick Cost. Bushcraft knife. It's from Miraknil Stainless, made in Sweden. So these knives are pretty good if you want to do some bushcraft in the wood. These here are little tiny bowls that you can use for cooking on fire and stuff like that. Like this, where you can take the handles. Now I'm going to struggle to put it back on. Oh, well, it wasn't too bad. It doesn't take that much space. There's like 4 of them in there. Not worth it. Small hatchet is so much better. Weight sucks, but best option for actual use. Okay. I was even thinking about getting maybe like a little... oh, man. My brain this morning. Brain fart. Machete. Machete would be something I would probably prefer. This here, little hammock that can hold up to 275 pounds. And it comes with the wires and everything, all the little nails to, well, not the nails, but to put it around the trees, all the wires that you need. And once it's open, the bag itself is attached to the hammock, so you can store some stuff in there in it. And what I got lately, a little mosquito net. Same thing. This would go around your hammock, and you can just tie it up with a rope on top to make it stay in a triangle, and you wouldn't have any mosquitoes. I also have a tarp coming, one of those camping tarp, which once again can be used on that rope, and the triangle form would actually make it so it wouldn't rain on me. Machete is all right, but usually doesn't have the weight or splitting angle of the blade to be useful for stuff like firewood. Yeah, what I see the guys using when they do their firewood, I know it uses a lot more energy, but they usually, like, they'll take when they go camping, obviously they can bring whatever they want, but they'll have those little I don't have it here, electric chainsaws to cut the trees down and cut the pieces they need. If they don't have that, they have those what's it called? Do I have it open here? I suppose I can check on my wish list. Just give me a second. Amazon. Rabby wish list. Come on, get out of the way, you. Botany. Yeah, I want to get a good sleeping bag. I have like one of those foam mattresses coming in as well. It's a folding bow saw. That's something that I would love to have, although it is kind of expensive, but let me show you. So this is all the space that it takes, and when it's done, it's a wonderful saw like this, and the guys have it, and it seems to be working pretty well. You can change the blade if you want to. was actually pretty fast. Let's see if we can slow that down. So you open it up like this, flip it around. So it's actually pretty cool. Check out Sven saws. Do they have that? Yeah, that's the other option I had. If you're talking about one like this, probably talking about a specific one. No, okay, something like this, Darren. But I was also thinking about one like this. Just something you can cut small trees. Huh. Whistle Stop Homestead. Good morning. Thank you so much for stopping by. Just trying to look at those blades. Sven saw. So the Sven saw would be this year. Yep, that red one quality blade and comes apart to fit in that handle. Okay. Is it easy to use? Because it feels like the angle would be weird. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Looks pretty cool though. Yeah. That's pretty nice. It is nice. So in my wish list, I have a few sleeping bags, a few kayaks, but I'm looking at this one here, even one from Canadian Tire, actually, very easy to use and fast through wood. Cool. Maybe I should go and put it in my wish list. I want to have a heater like this at some point. See, my laptop crashed again. Some mattresses like this, I have some coming from Temu, so I don't know if it's going to be good or not, but worst comes to worst, I can try it in my hammock. I see a guy camp on one thing like this. It's pretty cool. I have it in my wish list because maybe at some point I will get it. A little inflatable pillow, a hot tent, little heater, and a bunch of stuff in my wish list. A few books, a few things that I kind of enjoy using. Actually, I will put that blade in my wish list right now. This is actually pretty cool. I am doing good, getting older, celebrating my birthday on Tuesday, and I celebrated it last night. Oh, well, congratulations and happy birthday. I'll just put that back on. We'll shut that down. All right. What else? So yeah, we'll have that video on the stove, about the stove coming out. I also received those 2 rods on Wish. Hey, if they don't last, they don't last, but they're pretty cool, pretty nice. I mean, it can't really be worse than what you get at Pro Nature or a place like that. It seemed like a good quality for the price. It was about $10 for both. This one is it 160? That would be centimeters. Those are retractable rods, and I have another one here. This one is a little bit different, but pretty much the same thing. Pretty nice too. I mean, most of the stuff is already built in China anyway. 210, this one. It's probably centimeters, so this one is a little bit longer. They're like you can expand them and retract them and store them away. They don't take any space. Put it that way. And yeah, I'll just need to buy a few reels, and I'll be able to put one of those in my backpack. It won't take any space, and then I can just go. You should come for a visit and go through all my old stuff and pick out what you want. Sleeping bag, tent. Oh, why? Why are you doing this to me? Yeah, like, do you have like a very good sleeping bag that could go like in the minus whatever? Take some pictures, put some prices on it, and I will either negotiate or tell you that I want it or not. I'm still waiting for the price you want to give me on those little cameras, by the way. I know there's 2 different conferences, Homesteaders Conference, happening. There's going to be one happening in, I think it's late summer, which was organized by kind of the crew that's taken over from last year's Homesteaders Conference that was in May. I know Lynn from Bucket List Homestead is part of the group that's organizing it. End of summer is like probably the worst time for me, so I don't know if I'll be able to go to that one. If I do, it might just be like a quick in and out kind of thing, or maybe it'll be like a vacation and I'll be going with my camper and sleep in the Jeep or whatever. It actually be something I could do. Good morning, Dave. How's it going? But there's also another one organized. The date Scott gave me. There's going to be one in Ottawa. I think it was around May 10th. Organized by Scott at Rambling with the Brooms, and I think he wants to have it closer to Ottawa. He already has a bunch of stuff happening as well that I know of. There's a possibility that I might go to that one, depending on the timing and depending on who's going and who's not. So if it's something that happens on my end, Darren, I can probably most definitely stop by your place and check out your stuff. Snug pack and integral tactical sleeping bags. Cool. So you're getting rid of your stuff? You need some more space, you were saying, right? Yeah, for sure. Like, seriously, show me some pictures and give me a price. And, I'll get you to put it aside. And who knows if your boss comes my way for X reason, because, he has a place that he owns not too far from here. Maybe he could bring it down here and I could meet him somewhere not too far, or I just have so much gear and was saving for the kids, but they aren't using it. Okay. Yeah, so May 10th. Baby bags as well. Okay. And there's also the fact that my cousin lives about 30 minutes from you, and she might be coming down here in the summer as well. So that might be another option. And I know from the place where you work and the place where she works is not that far. Because I know, like, you're probably going to know what I'm talking about. Where when I got to Quebec, when you get out of the bridge, from coming from my way, across the bridge, there was a Walmart pretty much right there. And about, 15 minutes away, but maybe like half a kilometer away, there's another Walmart. There's another Walmart, and that second Walmart, there's like a little shopping mall with a Canadian Tire and I don't know, a few things. I don't remember what was all there, but my cousin works as a hairdresser in that little building there, a little tiny mall or whatever it is. So she doesn't work that far from you. So if you really have something that you think might interest me, let me know. Give me a price, and I'll see. Because I don't intend to go camping this winter. Might be more something I want to do in the future. And yeah, so I wouldn't need it right away, and can always arrange something. I'm gonna go your way for sure in either September or April of next year, because I have to go to Ottawa for my national exam. Um, Obviously, I need to pass all my classes before. I did 60% on my test Friday, but I was just so busy that I didn't even have time to read. Like, I went on that test like blind. So the 60% I did was just my brain being my brain. I am sure if I spend some time doing the homework, studying, and actually reading the stuff, I can probably get another 20%. And I only need 70% to pass. So I'm not worried. Now the worst is gone in terms of time consuming stuff I had to do. And I had to order a book, and I'm still waiting for that book, and most of the stuff I had to study is in that book. So still waiting on Amazon for that book. I bought it second-handed, so it's probably in the mail somewhere. Um, yeah, talking about Temu, I saw this ice fishing rod and reel, and I was like, oh, it's only like $5. Well, what have I got to lose? It's only $5. The size was pretty cool. I'm like, okay, like, to fish smelt, it's cool. Look at the tiny reel. Um, I don't know. I can probably, yeah, okay, I can type this. Oh, okay. It's actually nicer. The only thing I don't like is that all of this moves for some reason. I can probably tighten it up though. Like I could put some tape, which would, I don't know. It would make sense. Just tape it there, right spot. You can tighten the reel, give it more drag, but you go smelt fishing, even if you have drag, it doesn't change much. So for like $5, I mean, what have I got to lose? And that would also fit in my backpack, and I could go fishing if I got lost. I mean, it's retractable. It's actually very, very small. It's like 8 inches. Now I need to learn, like, maybe it's upside down though. I don't know what this little thing here is for. It might be upside down and it would be a way for the line to go around. I don't know. But anyway, if I use it for smelts, so tiny fish that it's not gonna make a difference. Whoa, been talking for 15 minutes. That's pretty cool. I couldn't do anything Friday. Usually I have my Friday night live, and tournament was being held yesterday all day. So Friday was just a matter of setting up the nets, making sure there were no holes, making sure the lines were clear, set up the canteen, set up the tables, set up the signs, the cardboards, the posters, or whatever you want to call them, the schedules, everything had to be done on Friday, so I didn't have time for my my live stream. But it's all good. The Friday before with Stefan Sobkowiak, It was a live stream I've had with the most view like ever. Um, there's like 27 people that were on at some point, which is not a record, but it's been a while since I've had 27 people watching my live streams. When I was in Shed Wars, I reached 33, 34. And when I do huge giveaways, I was able to reach 37 at some point. But to have so many people watching even after, that is a record. I'm at over 500 views right now on that live stream. I also, my friend had. Do I have it here? My friend had a little tiny GoPro Mini. Just trying to know the version of the GoPro. I think it's an old one. It's just a tiny square. It's about about the size of this battery. Basically, it's a tiny cube. You can basically just use it on your forehead, but it still holds a 5K video. And he wasn't using it. I mean, I had it here for the last 2 years, so I asked him if he wanted to sell it to me, and he said yes. So I will buy from him. No rush, even if I pay him $10 a week. It's gonna get paid in a few weeks. And when I was looking at kayak on Canadian Tire might be the place where I'm gonna go buy that kayak, but I also need to have a rack to put on my Jeep before I can even get the kayak. I was also looking at finding a way to have a little tripod holding on my kayak, because that's one of the reasons why I want to have a kayak instead of a paddleboard. Paddleboard, you can't really screw anything in the paddleboard because obviously it's inflatable, so you will bust it. Good morning, Shawnee. How's it going? Now, a kayak, what you can do is drill a tiny little hole, just a tiny hole, put a few washers, and put a screw, and have that hold on the screw. And the one I have here fits perfectly. And as you can see, it's pretty big. So all I have to do is find a washer and a bolt that goes on there, drill it in a kayak, put washers, it will hold there, and I will screw this in. So whenever I go on a kayak, this will hold in front of me, and I won't need a tripod. If I flip, I won't lose everything because it will be holding pretty tight on the kayak. And I even have a little waterproof case, and I tried it because in one of my videos, I actually put the GoPro right underwater, and it was water resistant. Hey, Shawnee, don't try to steal my my gear there. Just teasing. But no, that would be pretty cool though, Darren. If you really want to get rid of some stuff, let me know. My oldest son also wants to get into that stuff. He's also very interested in camping and all that kind of outdoor stuff. I have a small tent here that holds 6 people, but it's just like a very is that what I said? Did I say something? I'm thinking about getting rid of my kayak, my 12 by 12 tent camping stove, camping oven, and all that good stuff. Why? Don't have time? Or is it because um, you're getting at a point where you just don't feel like doing it? So yeah, I have just a very cheap tent that we can go camping, no problem. And I want to go out a little bit more this summer. Although I I never know about going out in the woods because of the bears or the coyotes. Because let's face it, if a bear decides, although in the summer they shouldn't be a problem, they don't really come around humans. In the spring they might, but you just don't want to have any food laying around. Coyotes, that's another story. Around here, there's a lot of them, and they're very, very vicious. Oh, cool. Yeah, 10-foot boat would be a lot better if you have the gear to bring it from one place to another. The thing is, I don't have an itch on my Jeep, so I can't hold a trailer. If I wanted to, I can't. I have one on the van, but I don't really want to use the van to go in the woods. So by having a small kayak, I could go on any lake I want and actually start exploring the lakes around here. And I think it would be nice videos for you guys to just go out there and explore a lake around here called Pope Logan. I would go on a Pope Logan, uh, drop my kayak, go for a day, even if it's just for a few hours, film the wildlife, might see a few moose, might see a few beautiful camps, cabins, um, might catch a few trout if I'm lucky enough. And I don't know, just I just enjoy being on the water when I feel safe. So I don't want to have those kayaks that I'm basically stuck in if I tip. I want to have one that's stable enough, um, and if something happens, that I can get out of the kayak and not lose all my gear. So I'm gonna have everything tied up to the kayak properly before I leave. So if I tip, I don't lose my stuff. Um, but if I have a kayak that's steady, I don't need to worry, and I would just really love it. When I think about having a kayak this summer, uh, it makes me happy, I suppose. So the kids, the two oldest ones, have paddle boards, whether they're at the beach or on the lake. Um, as long as we know there's no branches sticking out of the water or something to bust their paddle board, they can go on a lake, no problem. As long as they have a life jacket. And I mean, where we go, there's like 30 feet of water. There's not going to be any branches down there. They can go for a little drive, fishing for trout. Uh, maybe at some point get a little canoe and go with the other ones, but they all want to have little paddle boards. So as long as they have life jackets, and they're not alone, we should be safe. What else? So yeah, I will have winter camping in my future. I'm starting to gear up for that. I also have summer camping coming up too, in a kayak and in a tent. My dad purchased a side-by-side, and this summer I want him to bring me for a drive and go fishing. So I will let him know that he has to bring me fishing. There's also a possibility of ice fishing coming soon. We're just waiting for more ice. It's been very cold for the last week, but they're still asking people not to go on the ice because it's still not thick enough. There's a place where we can go trout fishing that apparently the ice should be thick enough. So we will be looking at that. Uh, it's actually something we could do today if we wanted to. I just need to get more information, and I think we need to buy our regular fishing license to go ice fishing here in New Brunswick, to go fishing for trout. If we go for smelts, it's tidal waters. We don't need a license. Um, just regular fishing as well. It's something I want to do. Go out there on a hike, find some edible mushrooms, edible plants, and I will still do my garden at home. I am getting more and more. What's the word? Uh, a little more self-sustainable in garden department. Like I can plant my stuff, and as long as it rains like every 2 weeks, I'm good. Uh, Holy jeez, Darren. No, that's way too big for me, Darren. I wouldn't even be able to fit on my Jeep. Haven't even thought about camping. We have a new tent we haven't set up yet. Last year I had to take the kids by myself. Yeah, well, even my girlfriend said she loves camping, so really we don't have any reason not to do it, other than maybe not having enough space in the tent. But depending on where we go, if there's a few trees around, I don't mind sleeping in my hammock. Or there's nothing stopping us from just buying another tent. Uh, there are 7 of us here. Maybe the oldest kids wouldn't come because they have jobs now, and they have girlfriends, and um, they might not want to come. But if they do, we still need more space. There's always the possibility of simply sleeping in the van. You can put the seats down, and I wouldn't mind having a little mattress in the van and sleep in the van. It really can't be worse than sleeping in a tent. I'm sure the kids would also enjoy that. Going in the woods, leaving a little window open and just put a tiny little screen on it so that the flies don't come in, the mosquitoes and the bugs. Uh, just open the windows so that it doesn't get too warm, and have a little mattress on there. It's doable. We have the mattress here. We could go and sleep in the woods. My parents are there all summer long, and we could probably go fishing. The kids would love it. There's no reason not to do it, really. I bring my John boat in May. The parks are open in the Ottawa Valley. Yeah, and Thomas keeps asking me. Um, he's asking me to go fishing with him every time I go. So if I do go, I need to set up some time to go find him and go for a little fishing trip. That would also be nice. Exactly. They might all want to come. So, um, and a tent for 2 or 3 people, I mean, it's just what, maybe $60-$70. Now, the only thing we would need for the kids would be a few sleeping bags. If we could find sleeping bags, we had one for every kid here. But as time went on, we ended up not really camping, and they would sleep with them in the living room and on their beds. And with time, I think the dog peed on one, and I think the cat we had peed on one. Um, some of them were having little holes in them, and we had to get rid of some of them. There's probably 1 or 2 that we could clean. They're not that dirty. It's just that they've been accumulating dust in the closet for a little while. It would just be a matter of cleaning them up properly, and they could be usable, but we would still need to find a few ones. We can even use blankets too, if we need to. And even in my hammock, I could probably just use a regular blankets, as long as I have little mattress. Should be okay. My back is hurting a little bit. So yeah, I think that would be fun. It would still come into the homesteading life a little bit, because let's face it, when you homestead, um, if you have big animals, you can't really leave for a few days at a time unless you have someone to go feed the animals. But I can feed the rabbits and give them water uh, for 2 days at a time. So we can feed them on one morning and leave for 2 days and get back the next morning. And, they would maybe not have any water and feed left, but they'd be okay for a few hours without water and feed. Obviously, you don't want that too often, but it happens once in a while. Um, and I can always ask a friend to come feed them, just make sure that they. Ooh, that's dangerous hit. The news there, it was a huge hit, knee on knee, and very dangerous, and 2 players got hurt. Ouch. So yeah, I guess I would need another small tent, but there's a bunch of camping grounds around. In Charlotte, there's a few ones. As long as I have a few trees, I could definitely sleep in a hammock. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind sleeping in the van. The kids would enjoy sleeping in the tent. Even if I just put the tent behind the house here, they would probably enjoy it. So there's no reason not to do it. So you find someone to feed the animals. The garden, even if you don't remove the weeds, they're still going to be there in 3 days, and you don't need to water every single day. So it's part of the vacations we take from the homestead, and also being out there. That's one of the reasons why people want to homestead. They want to go outside with fresh air, fresh plants, trees, and all that kind of stuff. So why not go out in nature and do some camping and do some hiking and do some fishing and do some hunting and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's my goal for summer. It was my goal last year that I wanted to be a little bit more in the woods. I started doing it a little bit more. There's a little transition. I didn't want to go from gardening to not gardening anymore and go straight out in the woods. It's just a matter of doing it a little bit more at a time. I have a few things coming in, and when I go fishing, when I go hunting, when I go camping, hiking, I'm gonna bring you along and hopefully make some very nice videos. Darren, I remember you talking about the B-rolls. This Quebecer I follow, Fisheye Mike. He speaks French, but you would probably enjoy his videos because he doesn't really speak too much. It's more he goes out, catch and cook on a kayak, camping in the wild. He goes all over Quebec and he finds those amazing places on small islands. If you can find an island in the middle of a lake, you don't really have to worry about bears and coyotes. Chances are they won't make it there. And I don't know, the way that he does his videos, it can be 40 minutes, but I don't get tired of watching them. I put them on TV when I go to bed, and it's helping me relax so much. and it relaxes me, and then I can fall asleep after. But just the music, the images that he shows, the beautiful landscape, the natures, the animals, the ducks, the beavers. I might have some more time in February to catch up on other videos. Yeah, um, I haven't seen anything English wise that compares to Fisheye Mike. There's a guy, Boreal Camping, also, that all his titles are in English, but he speaks French. Which, if it was me, I would do one or the other, but not both. But he has the subtitles there himself, and he doesn't speak much either. He does a lot of wild camping, and he has a few different kind of types of tents that he uses, and pretty cool. Also, there's a bunch of outdoors explorers out there that I enjoy watching lately, and I want to do what they do. All right. Well, it's been a fun hour and 10 minutes. Um, Darren is sending me some messages, and hopefully he will send me some pictures. Yes, he did. Your old fishing kayak. Oh, that's exactly what I want. Uh, well, that the last one you sent me, Darren, is like what, 12 feet? What happens in the hot tub stays in the hot tub. Yeah, that's kind of what I want. As long as it's steady and it doesn't flip too easily. Uh, but I need to find a rack first. There are some that are not to 12 and a half feet. Okay. Yeah, I'll need to find a rack to put on top of my Jeep. You could stand and cast. Cool. Stay tuned, guys. Alive in the hot tub might happen soon. So it was 12 and a half feet, and you could stand up and cast in it. That's pretty cool. Um, but the one I'm looking at right now is a little bit cheaper. Pelican company, Pelican, 10 feet. The same one Fisheye Mike has, and from what I can see him doing, pretty sure I could do it myself too, and um, it'd be lots of fun. Just give me a sec. Um, yeah, so that's my goal for summer. That's what I want to do this summer. Um, I can still harvest tons of food, and by doing this, I will probably harvest more fish than I did in the past. I will probably find some pretty cool spots with amazing things, edible plants and mushrooms and stuff. Because by being on a lake, you can see still in the woods around it, in places people don't usually go. If you have one way to get to the lake, people usually go around in a boat, but they don't usually get out of their boat in a random place on the lake. So I could go in those places, take a walk around, and maybe find some chanterelles, um, which nobody would even know that they're there. And I could probably bring in some even more food. And that's also something I want to do. Go do some catch and cook, foraging, fishing, and all that kind of stuff. Cook on a little fire. I've seen the way these guys do their fires, and it's pretty cool, and stuff I want to share with you guys also, stuff I'm learning, stuff I'm passionate about, and hopefully I'll be able to find the time. The thing is, with the cost of life going up like crazy, the grocery stores are getting more and more expensive. Just the fact that I do the gardening and the the meat chickens I raise, it's saving me so much money on the long run that I can't really stop doing it. But there are ways to do it in a way that it won't be as time consuming as it was in the past. It will be a little bit more self-sustainable. It will be a little a little bit more easy for me to manage because it will be a little bit better on its own. I'm going ice fishing. Only happens every 10 years here. Cool. Well, I suppose you're lucky because we can't even go here yet. um, yeah, there's a place I need to call to see if it's doable. But I think, is it next week or the week after that we have my daughter made the volleyball team, and she has a tournament in a week or two. So, and then my son has another tournament in about 3 weeks from now. It's going to be very busy on the weekends. But luckily, most of those tournaments are Saturdays only. So it gives me the Sundays to go and do those things. All right. An hour and 15 minutes, which is a lot more than I was expecting to get. Is that music cool? All right. Thank you for being here, guys. Take care. I'll see you guys later. Have a nice week. And see you